All right, guys, welcome back. We are here at Automotive Entertainment in Huntington Beach with owner JT.
Hey, how you guys doing today?
This is day 479 of the build. Kidding.
Well,
getting there. We're getting there. And then, of course, this will have a cover over it. This will have a cover over it. I mean, this is like a little baby subwoofer almost, and there's 2-channel amplification, and then each one is... Okay, so what we're gonna talk about today, guys, we're gonna talk about the front pillar tweeter mount. We're gonna talk about the rear 3-inch that goes all the way in the back. And then we're also gonna talk about the amp rack, and then show you guys what the subwoofer box is gonna look like, and then go into a little bit more detail on that. And then if you can point right through there, guys, you can see everything's out of the truck now. So the subwoofer that's gonna go in the center between the driver and passenger seats, that whole thing is out now, so they can design that. Up on top where there's only one 3-inch center channel, there's gonna be 2 3-inch and 2 tweeters up there, so 4 speakers instead of 1 for the center. So that all needs 3D printed, so the truck's pretty much gutted, so they can get all of that out and get it going. So let's talk about this. So this is your factory tweeter. If you guys wish you could feel this weight, it's like literally like nothing, like an ounce. And then this is your aftermarket tweeter. So huge difference, right? But the problem is, one, this fits in here in a nice little mount, but of course, this does not. And if you want to talk about optimal audio, right, you always want them faded at you. The tweeters literally goes that way, and we need the tweeter to go this way, which you can't do. So what they've done is these are 3D printed, and no, they're not going to be green when it goes in, or white. So you can see these are different versions. This version's cool because it's clear, so they can backlight this, and then you could show light through here at night. So not sure which way, but the most important thing is you could see this. And what that opening allows you to do, that allows you to mount the tweeter at an angle such, so when the car is like this and the tweeter's like this, it points the sound at you. Is that right, boss?
Yes, sir. So the whole idea is to create, well, at home, right? If you have a home audio, you're basically sitting in the center of the room, so the front speakers, rear speaker, same distance.
Right.
We don't have the ability to do that in a car. So the way we do that is with time alignment, and then the little things like, you know, aiming the tweeter, changing the angle of the tweeter, I mean, it helps a lot. So it's, for us, it's relatively easy, right? So we took the factory grills, we recreated it. So all the little clips, everything that we had on the original grill, we remade it.
Yeah.
So everything fits. It's not gonna fit right now.
Oh, it's not gonna fit because yeah. So
we have to cut that.
90% of this has no cutting. Of course, they asked me if it was okay because obviously you have a much bigger section here to mount the tweeter, so they will have to cut a small piece here. But of course, this will be internal. So once the truck goes back to stock, if it ever goes back to stock, the external piece can still be mounted here. It won't be affected. And then we'll just have to make some custom bracket for the factory tweeter. But as far as externally goes, nothing will be affected on that.
I mean, what's cool is, I mean, if you look at these 2 grills, if somebody didn't know that we redid it, and once it's all resin printed and painted, it will look exactly the same.
Yeah, you can't even tell the difference. But then when you look on the back side, this has for the tweeter mount, and this is your factory stock one.
Yeah. And then the cool thing is on these tweeters, actually, the way they work is it has like a little slot. So you push it in, and then you turn it, and that's how you lock it into place. So it doesn't use actual mechanical screws, which is basically the same thing. The idea is this speaker is sort of like universal. So depending on the application, you can remake the inserts, right? And as you can see, we went through a couple little variations, right? Because we couldn't get it right. But the whole idea with this, what makes it really cool is you basically push it in, right? Boom, and then you twist it. And then we still have a little bit of adjustment to do, but you push it in and then you twist it, and that's
it locks it in.
And it locks it in, right? And then we have all the holes so they match, and then you basically, it goes back in the same location. So the original speaker had a little bit of foam in the front, so that's why we left that gap. So this is the foam so that we can seal that in place.
Yeah, so you can see the difference, guys, between a stock 3-inch and the aftermarket 3-inch is a much more, I mean, this is like a little baby subwoofer almost, and there's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 of these in the truck. So 2 in the front, 2 in the back, and 2 in the center.
And we're only using those for like real field. I mean, they're not gonna be doing much, but you'll be able to, you'll know that if.
But if someone's sitting in the back seat, they'll get that little extra.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about the amp rack.
Okay, so this amp rack, the factory subwoofer was here in this area, right? So we 3D scanned this area right here, and we made a template out of cardboard after we scanned. Then we went to the CNC and make this out of plastic. So this stuff is really strong. It's not gonna break. I mean, this is the same stuff that they use for like cutting boards type deal,
right.
HDPE. And then we did like a little inlay, completely unnecessary.
And the two ones, which are the subwoofer amps, will go in here.
So we're gonna stack them. So we have an aluminum bracket that will go here. So one of the amps is gonna mount here. And then we're gonna create another bracket that basically allows us to mount the other amp on top of this guy so they don't touch. Yep. And then this guy right here, what makes it really cool is it uses the same bolts that were there. We're not drilling anything, we're not changing anything. So the day that you decide to put the vehicle back to factory, we'll still be able to do it if we wanted to.
Yeah, and on the other side is where the 18 will go, and then the subwoofer amp that we showed you guys in the Tesla before, that is gonna go and use that for the subwoofer that's in the front of the truck.
Yes.
So there'll be like a little subwoofer amp here, plus you have the 18 channel, which is here, and then if you guys wanna see the difference, 18 channels amplified, but 20 channels of DSP. And why would you need 2 more channels? Because you have your subs, right? So you have a DSP that could come out of here, and I guess you could run it 2 ways. One DSP could be for the front subs, and one DSP could be for the rear subs, because it's 4 subs, but they're in sync. They're doing the same exact thing. Or if we didn't have the front, you could run a DSP to each of the ones. So, but I'm assuming you're gonna run one DSP for the ones and then one DSP for the sub in the front.
Yeah, I mean, on that amp, we just have a lot of flexibility. So we have 20 channels and we can assign those channels to basically whatever we want.
Right, and then of course you see 2 channels. Why? Because it's a 2-channel amplification. And then each one I think is like about 500 RMS.
1500.
1500 RMS.
Yeah, so depending, and then, so if we do like a 2 ohm load, we can get close to 2000 watts on each amp.
On each amp, so you're talking 4000 watts on the subs?
Yes.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah.
Good stuff. We did the first Hummer truck.
We didn't have 18 channels.
Yeah, they came out with the 12 channel, and they had literally, was it the Ultimate, right?
Yeah, so we only had at that time, this is 4 years ago, right?
12 channel Ultimate amp.
Yeah.
The same brand, but then the Ultimate, which is what this is, was like their higher end version. So it literally came out like the week before you did it, and I'm like, all right, we need all new amps. Before you get it, we just replace everything. So we went from that to that. So now they have 18 channel, which is crazy because this literally fits. So probably thinking there's 16 channels in the truck, and then I would assume you're probably gonna take 2 of the channels and run it maybe to the 8s.
Yeah.
So maybe get double the power for the 8s.
Yeah, we'll see what makes sense because we don't need a whole lot of power for that. For those 8s in the center channel is just so that we can have a little more.
There's technically 16 speakers minus not including the subs because they all have their own amp. So 16 speakers, but you have 18 channels of amp.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. So let's go over here now, guys. I want to show you guys the subwoofer box, and this is why 3D printing is so important. It's not the old school way of like, get some wood out. Cool. So, all right, so what are we looking at over here?
So this is one of the ideas that we have for the box, right? So we want to do 4 10s. I know that you want to do the 19, but I think if we were to do 4 10s, we can keep the truck, we can keep like a really nice low profile.
Right.
So the front area where the woofers are, we can have like a cool little grill, like a protective grill type deal.
Right.
To where you can still,
use it for the factory, yes.
Yeah.
And put the seats down, put whatever you need back there.
Yeah. And then this area right here, we have a separate panel that is relatively small, right? So you can still, on one side, it will have vinyl so that it's nice and clean.
Right.
But then you can just flip it, and on the other end, you will have like carpet.
Yeah, so whatever you want to throw in the back.
Yeah, so you can still, use the trunk. So when you go.
So this is like show mode, as we call it, and then of course this will have a cover over it. This will have a cover over it, so if you opened it up, pretty much you wouldn't even know there's a sub box there other than this having a step up, and then you could fold the seats down, and for the most part it would be stock.
Yeah, so
the front's about 4 inches higher than stock, and then
this is supposed to match that factory lip.
Oh, it is, okay.
Yeah.
And then it has that short step up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's basically the idea. That's try to keep the truck functional, right?
Of course. I mean, some people like a big box, but for me, it's just
No, I don't think we need
more
to.
factory looking, the better, I think.
Yeah,
Especially for everyday use.
Yeah, I think we can do that, and then we can have lighting on the inside, so whenever you pop those panels off,
Right.
you'll be able to see. It will look really cool. And this is the center console, right? And
Yeah.
then on your truck, it has a little cubby in the middle. So since you're willing to give up that space because you don't have a man purse, we can put a woofer in there. So let me turn this off. And that's basically kind of like the shape of the box. Obviously, we got to play with it and make it look cool. On your last truck, what we did is we actually had all the amps in there, and then we created these panels that everybody wanted to buy because they look so cool.
Right.
So that's what we're thinking. And then I don't know if we can easily do like a plexiglass so that you can actually see the woofers. I don't know that you
No,
would
because
care
just the
for
front.
that.
Yeah, trust me, the front, the less you show off, the better.
Yeah, I don't think you would care for that. And then, just in case you park the truck somewhere, if they don't see anything, then they're not gonna want anything.
Yeah, so for the truck, the reason all the amps were there is because the truck doesn't have a back like the SUV, of course. So you had the 10s underneath the seat, and that was it. And because it's an EV, and the window goes down in the back, there's literally no room between the back seat and there. Normally the Raptor, you can put all your subs back there, you can put your amps back there, but on a Hummer you can't. So, but on this one, now we have all the room in the back for the amps. So then the front, we're gonna put an 8-inch sub back there, and it's actually the same sub that's in the Tesla dual voice cover. So the little sub that runs the whole Tesla, for the bass, that's just going to be for the front of the Hummer, so it's more of like a fill.
Yes,
Yep.
so we can bring that subwoofer to the front.
Right.
Is the center channel, so we're gonna cut it.
So in the factory center, there's one 3-inch, and that's
Yes,
it.
That's it. So we're gonna have 2 tweeters and 2 mids in the center.
So now we're going to have what was 1 speaker, now 4 speakers for center channel, for center staging.
Center staging, yes.
Yes, so proper center staging.
So, and then this is so what we're trying to do is we're trying to recreate the same
Look and feel, but
that-
obviously be raised because you need to make room for the speakers.
Yes, sir. So again, once we're done with it, it should look like it was factory. So that's
Yep.
the idea.
Aftermarket 3s, are they going to fit in the stock 3-inch location?
I don't think we're gonna have a problem with those.
No? Okay.
Yeah, but we have the scan for everything. So if we had to, we
can make a bracket.
We can recreate those grills and then maybe just basically do the same thing that we did with the side pillars.
Turn them a little bit.
Yeah, so that we can gain a little more space if we need it.
Yeah, so on the front staging, you're gonna have 2 tweeters, which are gonna be technically your left and right front. You're gonna have 2 tweeters for your center channel. You have 2 3-inch, which are your mid for your front, left and right, and then 2 3-inch for the center channel. So you're gonna have 6 speakers going across for like proper DSP front staging.
Yes.
That's gonna be like the concert's like right there.
And then we're gonna have the 2 8s in the front, then the 2 6.5s, then the 2 rear tweeters, then we have the 2 3-inch or 2.5s in the very back of the truck.
Yeah.
And then we'll have the 4 10s, and then 2 amps on the passenger side, another amp, 2 more amps on the driver's side.
Yeah, so you're
a lot.
talking 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 speakers.
Plus the sub in the center.
Yeah,
So
a little bit of an upgrade. Tiny bit. I swear the Tesla is like, I already got 3 people booked to buy audio systems from you. They get in the Tesla and they were like, my mortgage guy get a brand new Porsche Taycan and he didn't get the upgraded system, and he was like, I'm not even as impressed with the bass as I am with how clear it is. He goes, it's like crystal clear with the volume all the way up. Like he says, again, I tell people, like, you think you heard a nice system when you're like, oh, you get in a Bose or you get in, something that's factory, until you hear aftermarket audio. That's when you hear quality sound, and then your ears are, now that's what I'm used to, and now I can't go listen to stock stuff because it's so drastically different anymore.
yeah, so a lot of the times, when we have customers, right, we try to put them in like a nice system because everybody thinks that the factory system is nice, and it is in most cases, but I mean, we can always do better.
Of course, yeah. So the Tesla's like I think I've sold 3 systems so far from the Tesla. People get in that, and I'm like, and if you think that is nice, wait till you get in the Hummer, because that's like 10% of what the Hummer is. Like,
this thing is gonna be nuts.
yeah, I mean, just going off of memory of what the truck was, and the truck only had 1 speaker in the center. This has 4. And then of course the subs are a different brand. We got different airspace. And then you have the sub in the middle, an extra amp. So yeah, I mean, so the biggest thing is, guys, we didn't have the Zen module. And what the Zen module does is the factory Bose unit comes out, the amplifier comes out, and then you have all the factory wire goes into the Zen unit. And then from the Zen unit, it's 1 optic fiber cable that goes into the 18. And then from the 18, everything goes out from there. So we were unable to do like a true tune on the truck, because you could only tune the front amp, but you couldn't tune all of the speakers because everything wasn't daisy chained together.
Yeah, so the biggest challenge is when we're using the factory signal, right, is there's a lot of processing done, right?
Right, it's not clean.
Yeah, well, they're trying to optimize the system, right?
Right.
To the vehicle.
Right.
The problem is that they do crazy things, I guess.
Software related.
Yeah. To the speakers, right? So, for example, on the new vehicles, right, when you do your turn signals, what it does is it basically lowers the music on the driver's side.
And I hate that.
And is playing the turn signal.
The turn signal, right?
On the speaker, right?
Yeah.
Then when a phone call comes in, right, what does it do?
It mutes it out. Yep.
And is doing that.
Yeah.
When your AC, the cool thing, the factory radio, right? When your AC and a phone call comes in, what it does
lowers the OEC, so you don't hear the AC noise over the phone call.
So it's doing all that.
Right.
Right. I mean, there's a lot going on, and you don't even realize it, right?
Yeah.
So when we try to do an audio upgrade, we're dealing with all of that.
All of that. Overriding the system.
So when you bring a unit like the Mobridge, like the Zen module,
Yep.
Mobridge, all those units, the engineers, right? These are pretty smart dudes. They figure all the stuff out to where it doesn't even become an issue for us. We don't have to concern ourselves with that. On some of the new vehicles, the other challenge we have is the fake engine noise, right?
Yeah, well, the Hummer has it too, because you can turn it on and off in I forget which setting it is, but one of the settings, like the crazy settings with all the horsepower, it does like extra, like, but it's like, yeah.
So imagine when you put a system, you upgrade, you amplify the signal, and you don't have the ability to control the fake engine noise coming out of the speakers. It ruins the whole freaking thing.
Yep.
So on some of the vehicles that they don't have a module available, we don't really have a solution for that.
Yep.
So luckily for us, on this particular vehicle, we're not gonna have any of those issues, so we're good.
And I remember on the Raptor, you could hook up your laptop, and like all those little things that you were saying, door chimes and all this,
we can adjust
you could turn all that shit off, you could turn it on, so that like if you want like no interruptions and just have the stereo system and not all these ding ding and all this stuff, you can just bam, turn all that stuff off, and now that's not all getting pushed through there.
Yeah, we can totally do that. But without a module, you cannot do that.
Right, right. So you need the Zen, which I didn't have in the first Hummer because it was only made 3 months ago.
Yep.
Thank God. Huge difference. Just the sound quality alone running from optic fiber to a Bose amplification. So what this means, guys, is that you have your Bose amp, right? Your Bose amp is your amplifier. The high output of that is running into the new amplifier, so it's getting a signal that's, one, not so clean, two, the louder you turn it, the more distorted it's gonna get, and then of course Bose likes to do their own thing, so it's not a true decibel going up, 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 but it'll eventually curve off and then drop to protect the speakers. Now with this, you're getting the clean signal in, right? And then it goes into the Zen unit, and then from there it goes into the 18 goes into the 2 1s, plus the, what's the little subwoofer thing called?
Up one. It's just
Up one.
Yeah, it's just a small little amplifier. We only need like 250 watts just for that subwoofer.
So you got your 2 1s, your up 1, and your 18. So you got 4 amps that are all getting clean power, and the 18 is telling everything what to do as far as programming wise through DSP on the other 3 amps, where before everything was kind of, it sounded like, to me it was still the most crazy system I've ever heard in my life, but I can't even imagine what this is gonna sound like now that everything is done properly through DSP.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
So this is conclusion. We will see you guys on the next one. Click and subscribe below. Thank you guys for joining our YouTube video. Talk to you soon.